All right. Saturday, easy run done. 6 miles today. It's what day is it? April 29th. Um, so this week I've had let's see, 4 easy miles. On Monday I had I'm sorry, 600-meter intervals, 8 times with a 400-meter recovery jog. And then those were bookended by a 1 mile warm up and a 1 mile cool down. Wednesday, I take the day off, but I did do the boot camp Metcon day because those are just fun workouts to do. I had a tempo run on Thursday, so again, bookended by a 1 mile warm up and a 1 mile cool down. But that was a 5 mile tempo run. And yesterday, I had a 4 mile easy paced run. And then today, my 6 mile easy paced run. Tomorrow, I will hit a 10 mile long paced run. And all of those paces, they differ for the most part. So my easy paces will be 1 to 2 minutes slower than my marathon pace. So my marathon goal is 7:30 per mile, and so I'll run those at like an 8:30, 9:30 per minute mile, depending on the day of the week and what run I have coming up. So like on a Monday, I'll run that a little bit slower because it's bookended by a long run. And then on Tuesday, I have my hard speed training, which I want to be able to give maximum effort. And so I'll run that a little bit slower. I'll run that a little closer to the 9:30 pace so that I can have enough energy to be able to crush those speed runs. Those speed runs, I'm usually pacing about 6:30 to 6:45, and so those are about a minute per mile faster to 45 seconds faster per mile than my marathon pace. And the goal is to be able to get my body to utilize sugars better and to get my muscles acclimated to moving at a faster cadence, a little bit more push, being able to drive my knees a little bit more. Um, and then after my tempo run on a Thursday, on my Friday and Saturday, I'll run those easy paces closer to the 8:30 pace. So today was 8:40 was my average. I ran a little faster near the middle, and then I kind of backed off towards the end because I saw my heart rate getting a little higher, and I have a specific goal for those easy days, and it's not always to run as fast as I can possibly run. Um, and then my long paces will be about 30 seconds per mile slower than my marathon pace. So I'll kind of shoot for like an 8, maybe 45 seconds. So 8:15, 8, I'll kind of stay in that range for that long pace. And they all have their reasonings behind it. But today I want to talk a little bit about the easy pace. The easy pace is extremely important, that I learned because it allows my body to, number one, recover from my hard training days. You can't train hard all the time, then your body doesn't have a way to recover and repair and heal. And so you still want to be able to get the miles in so that your body can acclimate, but you don't want to run so hard that your body is thrashed. And so my easy miles will make up about 80% of my runs or 80% of my miles throughout the week. And so that's number one, is I want to be able to recover from my runs. Number two, what I need is I want to build my aerobic base, my cardiovascular base. And so the thought process behind that is that our bodies have, generally speaking, two energy sources. You can include ATP, which would be a third energy source. But ATP is really quick. It only lasts something like 20 seconds. And so you're generally your body's relying usually mainly on glucose, carbohydrates, sugar, whatever name you want to give them, or fat for fueling your marathon. For the most part, we have a limited supply of carbohydrates in our body, what our body can store in our liver and our muscles. But our body has almost an infinite amount of body fat that it can utilize for fuel. Obviously, there is a limit, but when we're looking at a 26-mile run, for the most part, our body can function off of body fat if we can build that aerobic system. So, aerobic meaning having enough oxygen in order to generate the energy. Anaerobic meaning in the absence of oxygen. So, in an anaerobic state, in the absence of oxygen, your body is going to utilize more carbohydrates and sugars because your body doesn't need to utilize oxygen in order to break those down or to use those for fuel. Whereas if you want your body to be able to break down body fat in order to fuel your workout, your body needs to have oxygen. They call it fat oxidation. So again, oxygen is required in order for your body to break apart body fat in order to utilize it for fuel. And so you want to build that efficiency within your body so that your body can utilize fats but be able to do so in a sustainable way. And so when you're doing your easy paced runs, you are using more fat than you are carbohydrates. Now, our bodies are kind of like a hybrid engine. So it's not like, oh, one shuts off and then one turns on or anything like that. It's just it may lean more towards body fat usage in certain heart rates. And again, in the absence of oxygen, it's going to utilize more carbohydrates because it doesn't have enough oxygen in order to utilize the body fat. So the more that we can build our cardiovascular base, that big engine, then our body can utilize more of our body fat without having to rely on our carbohydrates. And we can use those, we'll say, later in our runs. And so that's the second reason for the easy runs, is that you want to build that cardiovascular base so that your body can get as efficient as possible in utilizing body fat for fuel. If you're running too hard all the time, then you're not building that cardiovascular base as well. The third reason is you are trying to build the endurance of your slow twitch muscle fibers. So generally speaking, our bodies have two different sets of muscle fibers. We have what are called fast twitch, and we have what's called slow twitch. Now we do have a different form. There is like an in-between, as they've kind of learned. So generally speaking, what we've learned is that fast twitch muscle fibers are going to be more of our explosive muscle fibers. Those are going to be used for higher intensity work, we'll say, like sprinting or jumping or something that's going to require explosiveness. Where slow twitch muscle fibers are going to help us in sustaining something like a long endurance pace, like a marathon. Now, our body also has these in-between muscles. I think they're called a type 1B. There's like a type 1A, which is a fast twitch. Type 1B, which is like what they call like a malleable fiber. And so you can kind of almost like convert them or train them to be more in the slow twitch range if you'd like, but allow you to run a little bit faster. And so generally speaking, our slow twitch muscle fibers tend to not have as much endurance, is my understanding. And so you want to be able to train those up. And the way you're going to train those up is by repeatedly doing those easier paced runs so that your body can build the endurance of those particular muscles. or fibers. So that's the third reason why we do easier runs. So you have your number one reason, which is to ensure that you are building that cardiovascular base. The second area is understanding that you want to be able to recover from your harder runs. And then the third one is ensuring that you're building the endurance of those slow twitch muscle fibers. So, ability to use fuel efficiently, fat specifically, your body's ability to recover, and your body's ability to endure using those slower twitch muscle fibers. All right, that's all I got, you guys. It was a beautiful, beautiful day today. I left about 8-ish or so. Got done just before 9 o'clock. Average about a 8-minute, 40-second pace, which is pretty good. So I'm starting to feel my cardiovascular conditioning catching up. And I was able to keep my heart rate relatively low. And I'm looking forward to the 10-mile long run tomorrow. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day. And get out there, run. Remember, consistency over perfection. We're not looking for perfect, but we're looking for something that you can do on a consistent basis. All right, go crush your day.